Okay, it's recording. Okay, hello. Welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Taryn,
I'm Callie.
and we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, the Mothership, SVU, fanfic writing, organized crime. I think I said everything and more.
And today we're on the
So,
road because I have
yeah,
to go to
well,
work.
I'm not on the road. I'm in my game room on the floor because 4 times.
One of us is.
I'm a college grad now. Last time you heard me,
Woohoo!
I am indeed a college graduate now.
Congratulations!
I
Woohoo!
made it. And we have 1.7K listens on the podcast today. So, that's exciting. We're almost at 2K. Y'all can get us 2K.
Hooray!
Yeah, we got time to yap today. We'll yap tomorrow.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to do like most of this tomorrow because
Yeah, but
my life is still going.
yes, mine is not currently. I'm taking it easy, but we're gonna go through. We're gonna do Mothership first.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 11 of 13. So
We're already at. Oh my god, that's crazy.
This week is 12, and
2
next
more to
week is
go,
5.
guys.
Yeah. So, it's called Castle 2311. Is Castle in the Sky. So, at the beginning, there's this humanitarian dinner, and Baxter is there. And people are just kind of talking. It was that, like, nothing was really happening at the moment. Until they find this guy is dead in his apartment. And we know his name is Wes Berkshire. And his dad was in real estate. And that's kind of what we know at the beginning. And his security system was deactivated, and that's what they know. And the Berkshire family knows the Baxter family. So they kind of all like talking and stuff because they're investigating.
Baxter knows fancy people.
Yes, I mean, he probably would. He is the executive ADA, so, he knows some people. The wealthy people, the wealthy folks. And then they kind of, the mom tells the detectives about Kayla Cassidy, who the closest quest is with Wes, who is the guy who died. And they were having an affair. Or supposedly having an affair. It wasn't necessarily true, but this mother thought anyway.
Yeah, the mom did not like her.
Yeah, she thought that they were having an affair and stuff. Then the next part is she owns a gun, which they would talk about. And she kind of talks about how she's an actress. I believe she's an actress, and she talks about how like she's been doxxed before, which apparently I learned that doxing is not illegal.
It's not. It should.
No, it should be, but it is not illegal to dox somebody. Do you know what doxing is? That means giving out people's private information, particularly their address. And
So
she
that
says,
should
"Do you know what?"
definitely be illegal. Apparently, it's not.
Yeah, it means. She says, "Do you know what it's like to have someone negate your entire existence because of who your parents are?" So like she talks about being doxxed, and she like had to kind of protect herself. Which is why she owned it. Then the next part is
They have to go talk
they
to
go to the club.
again.
The suspect is at the club, and they go to the club, and they talk to the guy, and someone told the guy whose name is Dean that they were cops, so he starts running, and of course it's a chase scene because it's always a chase scene.
There's time at the chase scene in the club, and Jalen's jumping over.
Yeah, there's a picture of it. They got it like
the velvet
mid
ropes.
jump. It's a pretty. They got it like mid jump too. It's pretty funny. I mean the pictures they post.
Yeah, and we of course find out that yes, he was going to sell, but then he got her and he was dead. So.
Mm-hmm. So then, they say he talks about how he arrived 20 minutes after the murder because he was gonna sell him an illicit substance, which became named, but it was one.
Yes, you can't sell the substance, or else we'll get canceled.
Well, not necessarily that. YouTube does not like when you say certain things to demonetize. Not like we're monetized anyway, but when we are someday, which means you all need to like and subscribe so we can get monetized on YouTube.
Please.
Anyway, so then They meet this guy whose name is Robbie Singh. He's basically talking about fighting for affordable housing because basically like what happens is all these like big apartments lay empty because rich people own them and don't want to like rent them at an affordable rate or people who can afford them.
They want
So
they
he's
want
fun.
they want rich people to rent them, but rich people don't rent them, and so it's
They're just sitting empty. Or they could, solve the homeless problem, but they don't
they
want to
could,
because
but
they
they
want money.
choose not to because they want money.
Yes. Yeah. And they find out that there's a misappropriation of funds by the dad after he got the award that night.
Which I'm not shocked about at all.
Yeah, of course there was. And then the dad and Wes had a fight, and he called his son soft because he refused to cheat people. His son did not want to do this to people.
So at least one of them had a heart.
Yeah, but now he's dead, so
Doesn't matter now then.
he's dead now, so. But then the next person they talk to is the building security guard,
Again,
and
we find out
on the
that somehow he's been living in the building
mm-hmm,
because he doesn't have a home,
yeah,
which is sad. But to make it more sad, he's not living there alone. He's living there with his young daughter, who just so happens to be deaf.
yes. And like the mom died of cancer a couple months before this. I think it was, but it's really sad. It's just really sad.
Yeah, so let's just pile on all the sad stuff onto this family.
Mm-hmm.
And they
So
need
then they have
somebody to like talk to the girl. So they send Dixon in because Dixon knows
she knows ASL.
American Sign Language. And then we see this guy, this like middle-aged guy, walk into the precinct, looking around. And Violet is like, "Do you need help?" And he starts to sign. And then we see Dixon like tap him on the shoulder, and he turns around, and we then find out that it is her son, Patrick. Yay! Finally, personal backstories.
Yeah, they hug, and it's a nice little moment,
It was so cute. And right on, Law and Order actually casted
they did cast someone who was
actor to play this person, so good for them.
Very good. Yes.
Yes. The gentleman's name is James Caberly, and he's actually deaf, and he's great.
Yeah.
And so we find out that he knows the family because he teaches at a school for the deaf, and one of his students is the daughter of the Myers, the doorman.
Yes. So then Marley says that he did it because he was angry. They get a confession out of him.
Yeah. But
so, this isn't good.
Yeah, but it's not good.
Behind
they got DNA. It's not pretty, but they got DNA because he had gotten in a fight with him previously. But that's still, it's bad. There's, and the weapon apparently was his too. Not good.
Yes, or he sort of says, yeah.
So
then, Patrick is at the arraignment. He comes to the arraignment also, and Kate explains that it was murder in the second degree. And the defense wants the shirt that has the Wes was wearing inadmissible for some reason, and the judge agrees. So that is
probably because it was the DNA from the fight, not this instance.
Yeah. So they look at one.
And then
within the defense brings up that Wes, was using illicit substances, and that anyone involved in that could have killed him.
And then they have the dad testify and the little girl testify, whose name is I'm blanking on at the moment.
Alex.
Yes, they had Alex testify, and they had she's testifying using sign, and they have an interpreter interpreting for her and for the defense attorney and for Price. And she drops like this huge, plot twist in the episode. She drops this huge bomb that her dad was protecting her. Actually, no, first the dad said it. The dad had to protect his daughter because somebody intruded in where they were living. And so he had to, and they had a weapon, and then he had to shoot for self-defense to protect his daughter, and now everyone's like, well, crap. Now what? And now it's like, everybody is very much believing this. Both the dad and daughter are very credible. So much so that Price and Maroon are like, we might need to offer this guy a deal.
Yeah, because it's not. They had been looking for a long time and couldn't never get anything.
And I was like, okay, yay, all for it. I don't want to put this guy in jail, to be honest.
Yeah. And then Sam says Sam and Nolan were talking and they'd been looking for so long for anything, and she says my eyes are about to glaze over, and it's the same.
Yeah, well, cute little them moment. We got nothing.
They had nothing.
So then,
it's the next day, and
they're about to, they decide they're gonna give him a deal. And so Dixon is talking to her son and tells him they're gonna give him a deal.
Wait, we skip some. So there's they end up finding some financial stuff that Marley sold everything and couldn't afford the rent. And then that's the part about then he says that the intruder, which was Wes, also had a gun, so he reacted and the gun went off, is what he says initially.
Yes, and so we have to, make it clear that, in any other situation, that would be fine. But technically, the building is Wes's, and they're living there not
legally.
Legally.
That's what their argument is, that they're on someone else's property.
With all of that, they're like, we're gonna propose a deal. And so Patrick goes to tell Alex the good news. And out of the corner of her eye, Dixon sees Alex signing to Patrick, and she is able to understand what Alex is saying. And then the two back over to Dixon, and Dixon's voice gets motherly and scary.
Did you lie?
He's like, what did you lie about? It's
you're like, oh.
Ooh. So,
and it's they do sometimes during the show, which they do well. Sometimes Patrick speaks, and sometimes they have subtitles instead. And for this scene, they didn't have either, because they wanted her to tell you that they wanted it to come from Kate saying, "What did you lie about?" Because if you didn't know it, so you didn't know what she was saying.
Yeah, they had all of the representation. They have people signing, people speaking and signing, and then people speaking. The deaf people signing, the deaf people speaking and signing, and then Dixon would also speak and sign at the same time, and then sometimes the deaf people speak. Anyway,
just has subtitles.
So they were lying, and there was no intruder. That never happened. Everything's falling apart. And Dixon decides to confide in Riley and tell him what happened. And he's basically like, we know our job, we know the law, but
he says we're police, so we don't get to pick and choose who the law applies to.
But he's like, if you decide to keep this secret, friend to friend,
I'm not gonna tell.
Say anything.
He's like, I won't tell either, but
yeah. And then at the end of it, Dixon is, literally, Nolan and Sam are literally about to go give the deal. And then Dixon's like, yeah, I gotta tell you something. And then they walk in the room, and the defense attorney's like, okay, let's discuss the deal. And Nolan's like, nope, we're going to trial. We're going to continue. And so then we get the verdict, legit. We go to closing argument and the verdict. And then we get to the sad stuff, because unfortunately he's found guilty And then we get the daughter, Alex, crying
she's
out for her
crying.
dad, and everybody's sad and nobody wins.
Yeah. They sign I love you to each other.
And basically she has no parents anymore.
Yeah, really sad. But she ends up staying with somebody, but it's still really sad.
Okay, I give this episode 4 stars, and
yeah, I like this one.
I have to go, so at least we got one done.
Yeah, we got 4 stars. Real quick before we this week, which is 2 days from now, we have what is it called? No Good Deeds, the 500th episode.
Woohoo!
Let's see. Let me read it real quick before you have to get out the car. Sean Riley investigates the death of a therapist with a long list of troubled clients. Baxter takes over Price's chair when a disturbing connection to the defendant is discovered during the trial.
Drama.
So.
All right, cool. We'll be back later.
So, we'll be back later.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. Hello, we're back again.
SVU time. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
And it's the episode that we've been waiting literally weeks, actually months, to talk about.
Is it news?
Kelly's back. Well, at least in this episode, but they're probably inching closer towards it.
Yeah, they can't put it out there and say it, but we even got just towards the end.
Yay!
Yes.
And you could just tell everybody is freaking happy. And oh my god, this episode felt so much like
such a good episode.
This felt like so much like a good SVU episode. Just the way the dynamic just instantly shifts when Kelly is there. It's just
it was so good. We gotta get talking about it.
The episode is called Prima Nocta, which you'll need to know for later.
Yeah.
They put out the scene earlier in the day.
Yeah, earlier in the day. The initial scene. You didn't know where it was gonna be, but it was. The first scene is Amanda's making breakfast for the children.
Yes, and she has Jesse, Billy, and we see Nikki now. We see him. Yeah. He's there. He's a baby. He's there. And Nikki in his little high chair, and she is making pancakes. And she says, we're gonna prank Daddy. Pause. Hold up. As we all pretty much expected.
We accepted it. We already knew.
Yes. There's no more questions like last season. Sonny Carisi is their father. He is their daddy. Yes. Yes. Yes! Finally! And they will know nothing else unless, I don't know.
That's my choice when they're older. When they're older, they can know.
As of now, they know nothing else. And she's like, we're going to prank Daddy. We're going to put
the pancake in his briefcase, which is a pretty funny little prank.
It's fun. I'm like, first off, I'm like, dang, Amanda, I didn't know you had it in you. I didn't think of her as like a prank type. And then the girls are like, oh, Mommy, put butter on it and syrup. So unlike last time when we saw them, the girls get to speak. We have speaking lines for the children. Yay! And Amanda's like, no, that's gonna get really messy. But
what she did was solely puts the pain.
Say a word. Promise you cannot tell him at all.
You can't tell.
And they go back to normal. Sonny walks in to say he's in his outfit, and he comes to walk in. He gives everybody a kiss on. Comes right in, gives his daughters and son a kiss on the head. And he's like, how's it go? But how is it like, Sunny's tough. Billy, not even a
2
second,
later.
looks right at him and goes, Mommy put a pancake in your briefcase.
And they're like, man, you could. It's like.
So,
Really?
Carisi's gene of not being able to keep a secret.
He likes to. I know.
And Sunny like looks at Amanda
He's like, she did she?
She's like almost like slightly like angry, but it's like a joking angry.
Like she did she?
Did she? And Amanda like awkwardly like laughs and is like probably like, dang kid, I didn't know you were gonna tell on me that fast. And then he goes into his briefcase and he pulls it out, and Amanda's like, I bet it's still warm. And he takes a bite out of it. And they put this out after. It was there was Sonny had a dad joke that was cut when he was gonna tell Jesse. And it goes along the lines of I think I saved it. Let me
It's on the twins' Instagram.
Yeah. Pretty sure I saved it. Hold up.
It's like that's a dad joke. He knew the dad jokes, and that was his thing.
He of course knew Sonny was going to be a one to tell dad jokes. I'm not surprised in the slightest.
No. No one was shocked. Because it's very
but yeah, Viv and Charlotte put it up. It says, unfortunately, the dad joke didn't make the scene, but it was really cute. And it's after he took the bite of pancake, and he's telling Jesse, and it's so stinking cute. See, he's telling Jesse to show the camera, and he says, why did the pancake go to law school? Because it wanted to flip the case.
It's very much a dad joke, but it was a good one.
That is such a Carisi joke. And then they have literally we're only 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes in, and
it's like 2 minutes in.
I'm freaking emotional because he turns to Nikki and he's like, "What's up, bud?" And he picks him up and he holds him, and I can't. He's holding his kid, y'all.
That's his kid.
He's holding his son.
The joy on this man's face. Hold on, I gotta say, I know I do.
Please tell me you took one of us took a picture.
Somebody has it. It's on the website too. If I can't find it initially, but I say person that saved it too because that was like
Peter. That was Peter. Peter's joy was in Carisi in that moment, holding a child.
The joy. Well,
look at him. Look at the smile on his face, holding his son, holding his baby. It's like, oh, he's so proud. And then we got Amanda's like, all right, girl, finish up. Magda, who I'm assuming is their like babysitter, Annie, is gonna show up. So apparently Sienna doesn't exist anymore and Lucy doesn't exist anymore, but that's a discussion for another time. And they're like, okay, and they get all the girls like getting packed up and they're putting the girls out the door, and then just these really cute freaking tiny lines because they get Jessie looks right at Sunny and she's like, are you picking us up today, Daddy? She called him it. She said it. She said it. We finally got it. And he's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, stop it. Legit, I can't take this.
It's so cute. There's the scene. Also, something I noticed. This scene. The like background of this scene is so good. Somebody points out in the back. We haven't gotten to the scene actually. Hold on, I'll talk about that in a second. We get to Amanda, but
yeah, somebody pointed out, and they're giving the nanny their backpacks and literally like all talking at the same time, and we find out that Sunny asks Jessie if he has her inhaler, so we find out that Jessie has an inhaler, so apparently she also has a reason for it, like Noah does. And they give her the baby too, and they're all on their way. And then they close the door. Oh wait, no, hold on. Yes, that is this. They close the door.
Yeah.
They kiss, and it's cute. And he's literally holding her hand like on over his heart. I'm like, I can't take this.
And she holds his head, his cheeks in her hand. It's just so
like, oh, I cannot do this. So much releasey. So much. Taryn wore her shirt.
I did.
I don't have it, so I wore a shirt that I cosplayed Amanda, and I wore a Midnight in Manhattan-esque. So yeah. And then, Sonny gets cute. He's like, I don't know. What I want to know is when I leave, how long is it going to take?
Walk out this door. How long does it take for you to be bored?
Freak out. Oh my, and just the way he said it, he says it in his accent. He says it all low. I'm like, I can't take this. I cannot. Nope. No. She's like, hold on. I've only been unemployed since Friday. Meaning that as we expected from last time, Amanda quit. She's no longer. She did tell Sonny, so and he is aware. So at least
he respects the decision. Yeah,
he respects it. So she's no longer she's like, I got bored being a professor. Okay, cool. We know what happened.
She got bored. She already said she was bored, so we expected it.
Yeah, we expected it. And Sonny's like, maybe I can get you a position as a consultant or something at the DA's office.
She's like, we could spend together, together.
Yeah, getting to spend all day with you together all the time. What would I do? Literally, can we just get this the entire episode? Can this be the entire episode? Actually, kind of is, but so there's that. That was the cute, releasey domestic opening that we've been waiting so long for. We see it, and then Sonny leaves, and we see Amanda just go sit in her chair with all stuff in the background, and it's like
there's a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff in the background.
It's what we've been waiting.
Whoever did set design on this episode did a great job. Yes, this one little scene.
This is
somebody said. Hold on, I sent it to you the other day. Where did it go? It was something about the diapers on the show. The wipes and the diapers on the show. The folded up diaper and the wipes on the show. I was like, you're right.
They're done. They're done. Amanda snapped. Somebody's done. But it's just the way that people have been asking this for years or months. We finally get a glimpse in what the day of the life of the Releasey family looks like. We finally got it.
There's toys everywhere. There's a diaper on the show.
And it's just as fucking sweet and chaotic as we all expected.
Really did. I expected nothing less.
Okay, well, Taryn's looking for that. We have to get on to the.
There's a lot of stuff in the background. It's really okay. So the first thing somebody notices the diaper and the wipes on the shelf, which are down in this corner. There is indeed a diaper and wipes on the shelf.
A mess, but oh well. It's literally life of having 3 children.
It's a used diaper pretty soon. It's a folded up one. That's probably what it is. But yeah, toy box. There's all kinds of stuff. But that was all I had to say.
All right, so
then it goes to the actual case.
And actually, with this, we finally see more of their apartment, and it's bigger than we thought.
Yeah, because we're like, bro, how do people fit in this apartment?
But I think it definitely looks different than the one Amanda was originally in, so maybe they possibly moved.
Yeah.
You can't confirm that, but it looks a little different. But it it seems like them. It's so cozy. Okay, then we get the case, and we get a wedding. It is a wedding of Philip and Jenna. And the priest is doing the vows, and the groom looks so happy. And then we see the bride, and she looks anxious and almost about to cry and shaking. And then as she's about to do her vows and get her ring put on, she's like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And she runs away. And the ring clatters on the floor, and she runs away crying.
Yeah, they do a top-down camera angle of her running back from you.
everyone's like, what is going on? Then we get the intro, and then we get a Olivia phone call because that's their thing now, and I need them to keep doing it. Give us all the Olivia conversations, all of them. And Olivia starts off and she says, I heard Fordham is down, Professor.
Exactly.
So she knows now, too. Everybody is aware that Amanda.
Everyone knew it was coming. They were all like, she will know like a year and a half.
And she's like, yeah, what have you been doing? And she's like, yeah, it took me an hour to tune my guitar because there was a guitar, and everyone's like, where's the guitar? We know because we know that Peter can play guitar. We know Kelly can play guitar. So now we know that Amanda can play guitar too.
Yeah.
Musical episode. Okay, anyway. And then Olivia's like, do you want to come have lunch? She's like, sure.
They had a lot of lunch. She pulled like 5 containers out that bag. It's like,
literally, she goes down to the precinct to eat lunch with Olivia, and she's in her office, and Olivia's like pulling stuff out of the bag. And she's looking at this bag.
There's like 4 containers, 5 containers. Like, what are you? How much are you?
And Amanda's looking at the door, and she's like, well, at least you're not short-staffed anymore. And Olivia, like, because Olivia made a comment about that the last time when she was leaving, and now Amanda won't let her forget it and make a joke about it every single time. Rightfully so, I mean, fair. She's like, yeah, very funny. But here's the thing. They weren't. They had the same amount of people.
Yeah.
Beforehand. Like, so instead of Sykes and Curry, it was Muncie and Shirlish. So I don't get where the freaking short staff shit is coming from, because they weren't.
Yeah, I think because I guess it's the joke that
Olivia always says she's short staffed. Now she says she's
that's just been a joke for years. I guess she couldn't let it go. So
and she had Muncie and Shirlish, but whatever. I digress.
Yeah,
and then
I think Sykes is also probably going to be gone because she was only temporary. It actually said she was temporary.
Okay, fine. We don't know.
We would down.
Can we keep? I don't know. Can we keep somebody for more than a fucking season? Yeah. Is that possible?
We can only hope.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a knock on the door, and Bruno is there, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, am I interrupting?" And Olivia's like, "Nope, come on in." And she's like, "Bruno, meet Detective Rollins." And Amanda's like, "Detective?" So he's the detective forever now.
Forever.
And they meet, and Olivia is like, yeah, he's a he walks away, and Olivia is like, he's a really stand-up guy and everything. And
because Amanda's like, isn't that the guy that like she knows about his past? So she's like, isn't that the guy that
And
because she knows about how the lawsuit and stuff. So she's
the guy who lost the money. And he's like, yeah,
like, yes, but
I so wanted there to be a comment of like, hey, you know how I told you had to earn your desk?
I don't hear my voices on top of it.
What?
Hold on. I was trying to edit in the background. Okay. I had opened the video of us from earlier, and it was like, I don't want to hear myself again. There you go.
Can I keep going?
Yes, I was editing in the background.
I so wanted there to be a comment of Olivia to Bruno being like, you know how I told you had to earn your desk? Yeah, she's why. But they didn't, which makes me sad. Because literally Bruno has Amanda's old desk. And she had to earn it because Amanda had it before. And those are big ass shoes to follow to get that desk. And so, anyway, introductions are made, and Bruno tells Olivia about the that a bride has locked herself in her bridal suite
Mhm.
and is not coming out unless she talks to SVU. And then um Olivia's like, okay, I'll go. And Amanda's like, I guess I'll come along. And Olivia's like, is that you offering? So then the two go down to the church together.
Mm.
And the groom is like freaking out, like, why is
Mhm.
SVU here? What do you guys do? And then Amanda's
Mhm.
like, we investigate sex crimes.
Yeah.
Pause, ma'am. You just said wait.
You said we.
You said wait. Ugh. Wait.
You said we.
Excuse me. Mm.
And we're like, it all felt all natural and good.
Yeah, legit, the way she just said it, and it was like, wait a minute. She just said
You
wait.
miss it, don't
She does. And we go inside to talk to Jenna, and Jenna's devastated. And then we get the sad shit because she says that she was, unfortunately, raped
you? Mhm.
last night
Well,
after her rehearsal dinner, the night before her wedding.
mhm.
And Olivia and Amanda are like devastated for her. And she goes on to say that her and her fiance agreed to stay separately out of tradition and not see each other before the wedding.
Yeah, it's kind of a tradition. Or you have bad luck or some kind of thing people say.
Which, it's a cute tradition. I'm for it. I am. Um I very much believe Carisi would be as well, but that's for later.
Mhm.
Keep
We don't
that in
really
mind.
understand what happened. When they kind of just were bam getting married. We're like,
Damn,
well, what happened?
they're married. Okay, whatever. Yeah, bam, courthouse marriage.
They really did.
Anyway, she's like, it was kind of hot last night. The window was open. The guy climbed in through her window, was on top of her, did it. She's
Mhm.
devastated. Like,
Mhm.
doesn't even know how to tell her fiance, doesn't know how to tell her groom, nothing. Um, and then she goes on to say that the guy took her nightgown, sheets, and pillows.
Mhm.
Basically took all the evidence with him. Cleaned up after himself. And then Olivia's like, did he say or do anything you remember? And she says, he said, you're going to remember me.
Mhm.
Great. As if that, like, the attack isn't bad enough. To say something so cryptic like that to
Mhm.
someone who's legit about to get married, and you can be like, you're going to remember me when you're married to this
Mhm.
person. And you're still going
Yeah,
to remember.
real messed up.
Talk about traumatizing. Oh my God.
Mhm. And
And
it kind of like takes away that special moment from that couple. It could be the first time they're choosing to be
yeah,
intimate, and
it
it's
could
like
be the
people
first
do
time
whatever they want.
to like that's a lot. And she continues and goes on and says, I felt like he knew I was getting married.
Mhm. Which is born later. We haven't gotten there yet.
She couldn't really explain why, but she like it just felt like it.
Mhm.
And so they asked her if she had done a kit yet. She didn't. So they're gonna take her to the hospital and they're leaving and they're trying to explain to the family and everybody's just in shock.
Mhm.
And they go to the hospital and she's about to get the kit and she asks Amanda if she'll stay with her. And Amanda's like, I'm not going anywhere. But it's like at first you're like, wait a minute, can she actually do this legally? Apparently
Yeah,
they don't. Apparently it doesn't matter.
Yeah, apparently they checked the paperwork though.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, no, we haven't got to
Ben
that.
says they checked.
Like before
But
that,
yeah,
'cause,
at first it is questionable. Like,
is she? And then the nurse looks at her and she's like, "It's good to see you, Detective Rollins."
they were like, oh, if someone else saying
Ew.
detective, she's
Another one, another person calling her detective. And then Olivia and Finn are talking and outside the hospital room, like making sure everything they're doing is legal.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, make sure.
check the paperwork, and apparently, like, if it's a loophole or something, whatever, apparently Amanda, like, technically never stopped being a cop.
Yeah, she wasn't like, I don't know how
So,
you describe it for cops, but technically she never like gave all of that up. She
yeah,
just
she never,
stopped
like,
working at
discharged
SB.
completely. So, it's like, she's totally fine to be on this case because apparently
Yeah,
it's still it.
no one's asking questions for
Yeah, and basically the way everyone is like, come back, hi, your paperwork's still
her.
not good. Everyone's calling you detective, come back, come back, come back.
Mm-hmm.
Finn goes to check in with the groom, and the groom is like at first confused of like why shouldn't tell her, and then he's like, "Did you think I was gonna be angry with her? I'm not. I'm angry at whoever did this to her."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, good, standout guy.
Mm-hmm. So,
Um, and he
um,
basically wants to help her, and then they have the friends talk to the um Curry and Bruno. Oh, I forgot to mention when Olivia was looking out into not Olivia, Amanda was looking out into the precinct and she saw Curry and she's like, "You hired the IAB woman who
mhm.
investigated you?"
Nobody got over that.
And
They're all
Olivia's
set.
like, "Yeah, she's a good cop. We're gonna."
Also, we didn't even get any treats from Curry today. You know, she brings in some treats like every episode.
No, Amanda didn't get to try any treats. But
Curry
anyway,
brings them like every episode. He brings
yes,
them new every day.
she's gonna get them all. Yeah, they're all gonna be like wanting her treats all the time. Okay, so they talk. The friends talk to Curry and Bruno, and they say like they could just tell she was nervous. They were all like devastated for her, and they all go on to say like, Philip and Jenna basically loved each other. And a few of them were like, yeah, I mean, I'm sad I haven't found my person yet, but I'm not gonna ruin it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that basically, nixes anybody in the wedding party.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then they all go back to the precinct, and Olivia's giving an update. And then she looks at Amanda and she's like, "So talk to me, Rollins."
And you say,
Just the way
just
that
like Walter.
Mariska said that
Mm-hmm.
line is like nothing changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like that everything as it is. It's just another day of Rollins working with them. And it's just like, oh god, I missed this.
Mm-hmm.
Um she basically goes on to say that he wanted to, after saying what she said, he wanted to mark her for the rest of her marriage. That her marriage is going to be known to be started with this
Argus.
assault. And then
Mm-hmm.
she goes on to talk about this thing called prima nocta, which is the episode title. And it's like a Latin
Mm-hmm.
phrase or something she like taught her
Mm-hmm.
students, where the lord of the castle can sleep with anyone under his rule on the night before their wedding.
Yep.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. Here, look up. Mm.
Hold up. Give me an idea.
But, oh,
I'm texting
the
it to
next
you.
time. Okay. But the next, so then they end up finding another victim who is an ER nurse. And she says, And she's the one who says the man is black. She's the one person who seems to know this. And then she says the same saying that like you're gonna remember me for the rest of the time. Oh, okay. You're right.
Okay. Anyway, they go on and they're like trying to see if there's any other people who have this, and they find out that there is another victim who reported this, and she was an ER nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to talk to her, and she's like shocked that this has happened again. Like, she was kind of nervous about telling her husband, but he's aware and he's been really supportive. And basically, the MO is the same. Came in they were separate before the wedding. Got she was attacked the night before, was told, "You're going to remember me." And the only thing is, like, she didn't want to, like, open this up. She's kind of moved on and, you know, fair. But also, this kind of proves this, like, can happen to anybody. Like, she's an ER nurse. Like, she has probably
I've seen this kind of thing a lot of times.
before, and it's happened to her. Then they're going back and they're trying to find any similarities between these two women. They can't find any. And Amanda's like, "Oh, I could go check something." And then Finn is like, "Nah, you're gonna come with me." And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Consider it a date." And he takes her to the shooting range.
Yeah, the shooting range for the place.
And he's like, why are we she's like, "Why are you doing this? Why are we doing this?" And he's like, "Do you want your gun back?"
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure this is all good.
And yeah, literally.
She's a perfect shot still too.
Yeah,
If you
literally
watch the
has
target.
not missed a beat. And Fenton is like, "So why are you taking this case? Why is it so important to you?" And she's like, "I know what it's like to this, like, in regards to why it's important to her that this man is going after brides." And she's like, "I know what it's like to be one. I know what it's like to be in love." Us. Did any, like, years ago, if you told Amanda she was going to say that years ago, she
would
probably
laugh in your face.
That is how far she's come. She's like, "I know what it's like to be a bride, and I know what it's like to be in love." Like, holy shit. Yay. She has her happiness. And then she goes back and she does more training with the weapon, and she, like, pauses for a moment and looks at her shot, and the look on her face, you can just tell she's missing this so much. She has missed this. And then Finn, like, says, "Okay, well, if this is what you want, then you need to tell Carisi and tell the truth that you want to come back and if you want to come back and be a detective."
You tell your husband.
And then they get another hit on another case that was because this guy walked into the precinct and he's like, "Somebody reported this to me a while ago."
Yeah, he was a detective somewhere else.
He's a detective, and he was also coming in because his wife was getting concerned because they were about to get married soon, and his wife was getting concerned that she was going to be next. So then he also mentioned this case that he had got, and the woman reported, but then
he said it was last March.
Yeah, last March, and then she changed her mind, so they didn't do anything about it. So they go in, they go to talk to her. She opens up the door. Olivia and Finn go to talk to her. They open up the door, and she's holding a baby. You think nothing of it.
So you see the husband walk up.
Hold up, let me. Yeah, you think nothing of it. They're, like, trying to ask, like, be discreet of what they're asking for. They're basically like, "Oh, did you have your wedding at such and such hotel? Yes. Did you notice anything suspicious in regards to this hotel?" Then the husband walks over. So to give you the description, the wife is light black skinned. Is that the right way to describe it?
Yeah, she's like more of like a middle-ish brown color.
Yeah,
And the
middle-ish
husband is
brown.
white.
The husband is white. The baby she is holding
It's barely brown. Like this baby's a little too chocolate to be this man.
pretty
This
close.
chocolate.
Pretty close to chocolate.
Like this baby's a little too chocolate to be this man's baby. This
So-
husband's baby, just saying.
Putting those three pieces together and knowing anything you know about parents making children, you can kind of put the pieces together that, oh shit,
The baby's not his.
this baby might be the result of her attack.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go home. They go back to the precinct. They think nothing of it. And then the woman, her name is Brina, she shows up and she's like, all right, I'll talk to you about this. She goes on, she talks about it, and then confirms that yes, the baby is not her husband's, but she never told him.
But you think it would be obvious.
Yeah, you would think he would know, because even if, like,
The baby's a little too chocolate.
yes, exactly. Like Karen said, light plus light skin, medium light skinned black woman would not produce this baby. Sorry.
Yeah, just genetic wise, you go,
But yeah, she confirms the baby is not her husband Joseph's. But she never told him because she says, I thought he wouldn't love me anymore, that he would think I was broken, damaged. And Olivia goes on to say, you're not. And she goes, I know. I don't regret. And she goes on to say, like, she doesn't regret what she's done. She says she doesn't regret her marriage. She doesn't regret not reporting this. And she doesn't regret her baby. Oh, sorry. Joseph is not the name of the husband. Joseph is the name of her baby. She said she doesn't regret Joseph. And you could then they turn the camera to Olivia, and you can see her, like, light up, like, give her like a confirming nod and everything. And it's like, yes, Olivia, not all parents are like your mother.
So.
This woman loves her baby, even though the way that she got this baby was awful. And they're like talking to her. It's like, is there anybody who could have possibly like done like a vendor or something from your wedding that went to your apartment or did deliveries or anything? And she goes, yeah. She talks about how they got flowers from a wholesale department, which is pretty much like a cheaper way to get delivered flowers from like different companies, because they buy it from the companies, sell it, and then they deliver it to you, pretty much. So they have, I think, this Velasco wasn't in this episode, was it? Was he?
No, it was not.
Velasco and Sykes weren't in this episode, so it was Curry and Bruno that went down to go talk to the people. And the only description they like really had of this guy was that he was bigger and potentially had black skin.
Yeah, that's all there.
And so they see somebody walking by, and they go to talk to him, and they ask if he has any information about it. And just the way that he's talking about it, like, at first, like, he walks away, and then like they call his name over and over again. He's like, oh, sorry, officer, I didn't hear you. Like, at first I thought he was like gonna be hard of hearing or something. Yeah, so they talk to him, and he's just, the way he's talking, like, he carries himself well. And I was like, oh, I don't think it's him.
It can't be him.
Like,
right.
The person they're talking to, like, can't be him, right? And so then they go talk to, I think this is Bruno and Finn, and they go talk to the woman who is basically watching him or taking care of him where he's living. Her name is Mrs. Pritchard, and she's basically like a grandma to him. And Finn goes on to say, like, look, we don't want you to like feel like you have to lie for, and the guy's name is Leon Wallace. And Finn is like, we don't want you to think you have to lie for Leon. And she goes, I don't lie for nobody.
She's
I
a
was
very
like,
like
alright.
southern. She seems like a very
Like,
southern, sassy southern
yeah,
grandma.
so it's like, all right, I like her. And then there's like I'm trying to remember what I like the pictures in the background are probably theater
No, I
related.
said that. I said something about they're kind of like moderately erotic. Like
Oh
she
yeah,
wasn't.
but
It's
some of
just
them
like you look, you're like
theater related too. Like yeah, and she
she
goes on to
seems
say
like erotic.
Leanna's like a good kid. He's very neat and organized. You can tell they like show the area, and it's very neat and organized.
But there's like a pile of sheets. They're like folded up on like a table or something, and it's like
Oh, good eye. I didn't see that before. And you know,
on one of the tables, there's a folded. They're folded already. They're like washed, I guess, and they're like just
yeah, and
they're
they're like
brown.
asking to like look at something, and she's like, "No, not without a warrant. I think I'm gonna need a lawyer." Like, okay, you're
Like,
still okay. Now we gotta go. So we go back to the precinct, and Carisi is there now, and he's trying to get the rundown of everything. And I forget what Amanda says prior, but she says something, and then Carisi goes, "My wife is right." Immediately squealed. I squealed so loud. I was like, "Oh my god, he said my wife in the way. Oh, my wife is right. Oh my god, just hearing him say that is so good. So good. And Amanda goes on to basically say why they think she's doing this is he wants to ruin somebody's happiness. And then Olivia goes on to be like, all right, I think the best way for us to do this is we need to send 2 people undercover to like catch him in the act. And you know, Finn
he's like, we can beingly have people that are already involved.
Yeah, Finn is like, who the heck are we sending? And she's like, well, there are 2 other people who wouldn't have to pretend. And she looks at Amanda and Sunny and it's like, and basically it's like, well, what do you 2 think? And they kind of look at each other and it's like, oh well, guess we're doing this. And to which I wrote, this is probably illegal, but I don't care.
He talks about like Carisi couldn't be the prosecutor on the case, but that's a later thing. But that's really
yeah. So at least they find out they covered their tracks this time. And I mean,
sometimes they don't.
Work, but like legit, they're undercover. I'm like, freak yes. And behind the scenes photos of what they were
we
like.
found them. We saw them like the day of, and I said they gotta be undercover. I said,
look at them! Look at him!
Yeah.
Look at them in normal clothes. And they're so cute. Peter and Kelly.
That's it. Because I was the one who predicted it. I said they're probably going undercover. When they posted the pictures in the daytime earlier, I said they're going undercover.
Yeah, just Carisi in like the trench coat and the normal clothes. Like,
yeah.
So they pretend to be a couple who's about to get married.
Yeah.
And they go down to the wholesale flower shop and oh my god, like Amanda once again approves.
She puts on the super sweet voice.
Super sweet, happy, excited Southern girl, and it's like, yep, this is why you're good at your shit, at your job. And she's basically like, oh look, honey, look at, they got this flower. I'm like, oh my god, you're so good at this. She says something about like Georgia too, and I'm like, okay,
something like she says one of these flowers is the state flower of Georgia or something like that. She says about some flowers she picked.
Yeah, and
he's like, of course, like, whatever you want.
my Georgia peach or something, and it's like, oh,
It's
shut
like,
up.
whatever you want.
Oh, shut up.
It's like, whatever you want.
It goes on, and she's like, oh, actually, no. Amanda goes to look at something, and Sonny talks to the store owner. He's basically like, look, I want to get her what she wants, but I kind of need to keep it within budget. So,
Mhm.
do you anybody that like delivers cheaply? And he's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, Leon does.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And then Amanda walks back over and she's looking at Sunny all lovingly, which literally they're putting on a show, but they don't have
They're-
to pretend.
yeah.
They're exaggerating it, but they don't have to pretend.
Mhm. They don't have to be in love. They're already in love. They just
Yeah,
like
they're already in
adding
love.
in the drama to it.
Adding to it. And she goes on and she says, he's a keeper. And they stare at each other for a minute and then they kiss for a long
They
time.
make it a long.
It was a
dramatic.
long kiss. It was good. Right in front of Leon. And then when they
Mhm.
break, we see
You
Leon's
can see
face.
his face.
And
Yeah.
Leon does not look happy. So I take back what I said earlier in regards to, because my mom, and my dad all thought he didn't do it. Then we saw
My
his
aunt,
face.
my aunt was watching with my mom and I, and she like, I don't think he did it. I was like, my mom and I were like, he did. Yeah.
And then the face, and we're like, oh, never mind, he did it. So we're thinking, oh, that's it. Like,
Mhm.
it's fine. Nope. We transition to the next scene, and they're in their bedroom, which is cute. I didn't expect it to be like it, but it was cute. It's
Well,
definitely
it's not
different.
their bedroom. I thought it was they had a hotel. I think didn't they have a hotel?
I thought it was their house.
I thought it was a hotel. 'Cause I
I
didn't
don't
think
know.
they could risk their house. I didn't think they could risk their house like that. I think they.
Yeah, maybe
I
there is
think
the
it was.
hotel or
I
whatever.
think that'd be a little dangerous to risk
They're
their house
somewhere
like that.
in this little bedroom thing. And kid you not. And the way that oh god. This is just props to Kelly and Peter. This is like a
Yeah, their chemistry doing their scenes are just
through the scene. It's a small thing. It's a blink if you miss it moment. But it's also something that for the two of them to be doing, it kind of has like a level of intimacy and trust to it in the releasey level. But for Peter and Kelly, it's more like a trust and caring thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. And
That
he's putting the wire on her.
putting the wire down her clothes. Like from a wife and husband point of view, that's fucking cute and romantic. And Amanda trusts him to do that. He's being so gentle. But in the actor point of view, Kelly and Peter trust each other enough that Kelly feels trusts Peter to have him do this. And Peter is being as polite and respectful and careful as we know he is. So, am I making sense? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. It's just like it's a blink and you miss it thing, but it has a lot to it. And I was like, oh, they're like legit actually setting this up. Okay.
Right, because he did.
And they go on, and she turns around to face Sunny, and Sunny is like, you've got the spark in your eye. I haven't seen it since you left SVU. I was like, oh gosh, now he's realizing it's true.
Yeah.
And Amanda's like, it's been a long time. I'm kind of excited about this.
Yeah, she was excited too.
You know that Amanda was usually excited to do undercover stuff, especially when it was about to catch the bad guy because she is so good at it. And so they like start playing it up, and she like sends Greasy out of the room, and he walks out, and he comes in the back of the van. This is where this picture came from, because they had like the room in the back, the door that went out of, and Amanda in her like cute sweater and leggings, and Greasy's wearing the same outfit.
Mm.
You know. Oh, and then this one.
Mhm.
That one. Look how
Mhm.
cute they are.
Mm.
Yes, their chemistry is everything. Yes,
Mhm.
we love. So there's that. And she goes into the thing, and he goes into the van, and he's watching her. And you can tell he's watching carefully because
Yeah, he's very much.
wife now.
That's his wife now.
Like
It's not just.
any other operation they've done before.
Like that's his wife,
His
the
wife,
mother of his children.
mother of his children. She is everything to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do the scene, and Leon has arrived.
Mm-hmm.
And Amanda puts on the show again. And she's like, "Oh, can you like help carry the flowers in?" And she like shows her nails. She's like, "I just got my nails done for the big day. I can't ruin them."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She really plays it up.
She
Like,
really plays it
fine.
up. She like brings them in, grabs wine, and she's like pours him a glass, and she's like almost like goading him
Mm-hmm.
to take a
Come
sip.
on, have a drink with me. It's my last night being single.
Yeah, it's my last night before I become a bride, and then the camera transitions to the van, and Carisi's like, "What the hell is she doing?"
I know he's not having a good
Well,
time. He's a real like.
we gotta pause. I gotta pause about that because
Mm.
I usually don't hate anything that Carisi does. This is your wife, man. Why are you saying what is the hell she's doing? I feel like
He gets overly anxious about Amanda, and
he is
he was
overly anxious.
stressed.
I feel like him saying what the hell is she doing about his wife kind of crossed a little line, at least for
Mm-hmm.
me. I'm like, dude, why are you I mean, obviously the anger was kind of understandable, but like just it seemed very harsh
Mm-hmm.
of a thing for him to say talking about his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Um and he's basically like he's worried about in regards to of the law side entrapment. That
Mm-hmm.
he's basically entrapping him, and then this is all gonna go to hell.
Yep.
And he's like, "All right, I gotta call her." And picks up his phone. He's like, "Come on, Amanda, pick up. Amanda, pick
Mm-hmm.
up." He's like not happy. He's so worried about her. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm. He's so worried. Like in his voice, he's just so
and then she's like, "I'm
worried.
fine. I got him. I got DNA."
And then he's like,
Somehow, like we didn't know
mm.
at first. Like somehow,
They couldn't see. You can't see her. You hear her through the radio, so you don't see her. You're like,
like we literally
she's
don't know
okay.
what happened. Like Carice's like, she's not picking up. The guy
And she
could very
does.
well be doing it right now, and we have no idea.
Yeah.
But she's like, "No, I'm fine. I got DNA," and she got it. She got it on his hand on her hand somehow. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought she was giving him the wine, so
Which she
she would.
also says she does. Is DNA on the glass and on
Yeah, that's what I
her
thought
hand.
she was doing. Like she was doing it so she could get the DNA from him on the wine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't understand why she didn't tell Carisi about that first instead of scaring the shit out of him. But
And he was horrified. The man was terrified. He never seen him so scared in a
yeah.
long time.
So then we go to the bureau. We get a they arrest Leon. They put him in a lineup. Carisi's talking to this lawyer, and he basically says something. Basically, he can't prosecute because he went undercover. So at least we got something that they're backing it. So if Carisi ever goes undercover, Carisi technically is allowed to go undercover for SVU still. He just can't prosecute the case.
Yeah, because that makes him biased, so he just has to.
But honestly, there are certain cases where it kind of would work for him to go undercover and not prosecute.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of works. They're still able to do that, but still have somebody to prosecute the case. So
Yeah, they had somebody do it. He says whoever the DA. He didn't say who the DA was on this.
Yeah, they didn't say.
He said that they would be giving him like 40 years.
Yeah, literally, they're gonna give him 40 years for this. And so they the first two women, or the first woman, Jenna, walk in and to ID her, and she at first does it by face, and that doesn't go well because she says, I didn't see his face. So they do voice ID, and they have her turn around, and they have the back to the men, while each of them is saying, you're going to remember me one by one. And she identifies Leon. And, they have the voice ID, and they're like, is that going to be enough? And Creasy's like, we hope so. And then Brina shows up again, and she's like, I want to help. And we find out that she saw his face, because before the other guys did it while they were behind her, so they wouldn't see his face. He had learned the first time he did it was probably Brina, and hence why she got pregnant and everything. The guy learned that time. She saw his face. She gives a corporeal ID, and Carisi goes on to say that in the interrogation room. I don't get why he was still in the interrogation room if he wasn't prosecuting, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Little missteps. Basically, we get the voice ID and the corporeal ID. You're gonna get 40 years for this. Yeah. And Leon, he goes to say, I'm not a bad person. I'm like,
you did something really bad.
Where is this going?
Did something really bad.
Yeah, and Olivia's like, then why did you do this?
Exactly.
And he goes, I don't know, ma'am. I guess I just got tired waiting for my own best day.
And you go,
it's like, okay.
There's your confession, man.
He's like, because Olivia's like, why? You were were you jealous? Like, they're all getting their own best day. He's like, I got tired of waiting for mine. First off, that is the most polite rapist.
Yeah, I think it's right.
You're calling Olivia, ma'am.
Okay. You
like, I don't know, ma'am. No, okay, he's still calling, ma'am. And here's the thing. Out of all the people on the show, what he did was awful, and yes, I still hate it. He's definitely the politest of the assailants that we've had on the show. Yeah. Literally addressing Olivia as ma'am still, but also admitting, I got tired of waiting for my own day, so I took it.
So, go,
Yep. So then we get Olivia Carisi conversation, and Olivia has a stress ball. She has a stress ball.
It could be a worry stone. Some people said it's hard to tell.
It was the worry stone. Yeah, it was the worry stone that she had back in the episode with Anna, I think, the girl who locked herself in her house.
It's a worry stone. I thought it was a stress ball at first. It's a worry stone.
Well, anyway, Olivia has something to help her calm down. Good for her, taking initiative on that. And they, they're basically going on, and Olivia was like, it was nice to have her back. Sonny agrees, and he's like, but man, I didn't expect her to do that. And then Olivia's like, I don't know what to tell you. You married a wild card.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know. It's what I love about her.
Squealing. We kind of already knew it because Carisi has a good tongue, and then be like,
Carisi, Amanda brings out Carisi's wild side.
She really does. She'd be like,
Like, we got the, like, good Catholic boy, and then Amanda walks in, and it's like, "Oh, sir, okay."
He melts into a puddle here. He kind of melts into a
He
puddle.
melts into a puddle and gets all, like, suave and
And I go,
Staten Islandy, and it's like, "Oh my god, stop."
Mhm.
And then I think at first I thought this
The
was
last
Olivia.
scene that Atlanta, it's in
They're
Atlanta's
at Amanda's
apartment.
apartment. And Olivia,
They haven't.
like, the chipmunk on the
They haven't
table.
brought it
The
back.
chipmunk is back.
Here you go. We thought the
Oh,
chipmunk was gone because you know they broke.
thought
The
it was
lid
gone.
broke up.
There's an
They
episode
had
of
the
last.
lid replaced.
Yeah, there was
King
an
of the
episode
Moon.
last
It's
season.
the King of the Moon where that's a good episode too. You can watch it.
He got smashed, but
They
apparently
replaced the glass on that bed.
apparently it's okay still because the chipmunk's
They
here.
replaced the glass. Yeah.
And Amanda's
He's
like,
like a bucket. Because you something
yeah,
about like Bruno got tired of it looking at him during the break room or something. Like he said something. She
yep.
said something like that about it.
So it's yours now.
Take
And they go
him
talking, and like Amanda's like, "I'm finally available, and you're not understaffed anymore." And Olivia's like, "Again, really?" And then she's like,
We were kind of talking to her about like she doesn't want this to be her safety net of like, oh, I can go back to SBU instead of like
"Yeah, here's the
figuring
thing.
out what she wants with life.
I don't think safety net was the best choice of words. That's not Amanda's safety net. That's her home."
Yeah, but she didn't want her to be dependent on the fact that like SBU is all I can do with my life. You know, she's like,
Yeah. Well, that's what Olivia's been doing with her life. So.
yeah, for someone who's done it for 26 years, you know.
That's what Olivia's been doing with her life. So apparently she just doesn't want Amanda to be her. But anyway.
Heavy lies the crown, I guess.
Amanda's like, "You don't even have a desk for me," and Olivia's like, "I would get you one, but I want to make sure you know that where you belong."
It's only been one day. Because it's only been one day.
Yeah, it's only been one day. Take your time. She's like,
this
take
happened
your
in
time
like one day for one.
and think about what you really want.
Yeah, before you make this decision. Because it's only been one day. She's like, you're bored? It's been one day? Yeah.
Yeah. They both like take a sip of their coffee, to which is when I got mine, I was like, I have a mug too. Anyway. Yeah, this episode gets 5 stars for the sake of
this is a 5
Kelly
star.
alone.
It's a good one. It's
Kelly
a solid one. I
here,
like this one.
5 stars. It felt like a good old-fashioned SVU episode. Everything was right for the world again. It just felt like SVU. Good SVU. And there are a lot of people who are like, okay. And a lot of people were saying that too. It's like, oh my god, it's just how everything was. But the annoying, / confusing part was a lot of people were like slightly annoyed by this ending. Because it's like, did you just say if she's coming back or not?
Yeah, but it's a realistic approach to have.
It's
like you just quit one day ago.
And here's the thing. They can't like say she's coming back yet because as of now we know Mariska is still fighting for Kelly to be able to come back.
Yeah.
Because
who knows what'll happen next season? Because it won't be unless there's some kind of surprise in the season finale or
well,
next
we're hoping
season.
The surprise is somebody else, considering he was in New York.
For one day. You know, we'll talk about we didn't talk about that, but we'll save that for next time.
Well, I mean, I guess we can say that the performances of it started.
Yeah, Galileo's performances started yesterday, and people said they were phenomenal. But the show tonight got canceled for some reason.
There's like family emergency or something for
someone in there.
Issues for like one of the creative teams, so they had to cancel. And so
from what people said last night, it was a phenomenal show.
Yeah, so we hope everything's okay with that. People said it's phenomenal. Please go to Broadway so we can all go see it, because I would have wanted to go see it now, but California is too far for me to go. But we hope it is going well. Mariska is still fighting to get Kelly back on the show because
she's phenomenal. Mariska's been phenomenal for her shoot again.
Yes, Mariska has been able to do so much stuff and get so much of what she wants on the show, but somehow DW still has power over her, and made that choice, and basically Mariska has been trying to write it ever since. And I think they're kind of starting to realize that it was a really stupid move because they're bringing her back, and the ratings keep going up because I guess who's on the show? Haley. Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah, Mariska's done a couple interviews.
Yeah,
from
basically
Vogue and
going
Grease.
on and on about how she loves Kelly and how she was like fighting to bring her back.
She did Vogue Grease. She did
Yes.
another project that I forgot what it's called.
I literally texted my dad a picture of the Vogue Grease thing because it had Greek language in it, and I'm Greek. And I texted in the picture.
I
First
moderately can read Greek. I wasn't very good.
Look at how fucking gorgeous she is. Look, look, this woman is 60.
Yeah.
Y'all.
I can moderately read Greek, but not a lot, but just a little bit.
And I literally texted my dad it because he's the Greek one. He said, "How about that? Everything comes from the Greek one way or another." Drew that. Mariska really is a Greek goddess in her own way. Yes. First
and
Vogue,
they are doing another.
first Vanity, now Vogue Greece. This woman is everywhere.
And she did something a project, something that partners with,
like basically.
Heart.
Go ahead, and then I'm going to finish my sentence.
There's another project she worked on. Let's see.
Oh, she went to GMA to do stuff for Purina for animals.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Just trying to find some. So there's the Purple Lease Project. So basically, it's a helping people who have been survivors of survivors have pet friendly domestic violence shelters. So a lot of the time, people like want to leave situation, but they don't want to bring their pet.
Of course, that's literally perfect.
So
that is such a Mariska thing. And then another interview she did, she's basically like, I don't like not being listened to in regards to, the stuff with Kelly. So she's continuing to fight to bring her back, and everybody's happy when she comes back. Yes, 5 stars. The only thing is I wish Velasco was there because we know that Octavio cares a lot about Kelly, and he says that Velasco cares a lot about Amanda too. So I'm sad that he didn't get an interaction between the two. And there were some people who wanted Sykes to meet Amanda because they have like similar personalities.
They have a similar vibe.
They do have a similar vibe, but I don't know. For some reason that wasn't on my forefront. I wanted the Velasco and Rollins content again because he does. She's like for lack of a better term, she's like an older sister to him. Okay, well, I think that's everything we have to say about Kelly. We love you, Kelly. You were amazing.
We hope to see you again.
Yes, please come back soon.
Putting it out there.
Please come back soon. Please. And you know what would make my day is if we get you and Raul back at the same time, but
it really would. But it's probably not in their budget to do that.
One day. All right. What's next week for SVU? Because I don't know.
Tomorrow.
Guys, I literally
Marauder.
I think to be able to think about anything else except Rollins.
Yeah, so it's called Marauder. It's basically about Sykes. It says Agent Sykes struggles to cope on the anniversary of her sister's disappearance. Vincent suspects a cold case from Manhattan to help her get closure.
Oh yeah, so that was a lot of a lot. So this is SVU's 550th episode, if you can believe it. And there's a lot of people that are like, why are we doing a psych-centric episode for the 550th?
They never celebrated the 50th of anything, so I don't know why people are acting crazy about them.
Look, we're finally getting
It's always been the 100.
Also,
it's always been the 100.
A lot of the psych-centric thing has, Olivia tied into it, because Olivia is helping her, so maybe there'll be Olivia stuff tied into it too. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
There could
They
be
can't
a
even
reason.
give us like 2 sentences of description. So we'll see.
I mean, like, hopefully, maybe, it'll be a teeny bit better than the 500th, which I still have ups and downs about, but,
Yeah,
you know.
it was good and it wasn't.
They're doing this, I don't know, I feel like they're planning this episode to be the 550 for a reason.
Mm.
And, also, they changed the name of the finale.
Yes, we'll talk. It used to be
Escalation, and now it is
escalation. Now it's duty to hope.
duty
It's
to
duty to hope. I think.
Either way, oh great. Why do I feel like we're in for a ride?
We are probably are. It seems like we are reading the description of it, but because we have the description, we'll have
Finale,
the.
screw with all of us. Let's just go with that. But yes, this episode gets 5 stars for Amanda alone. And I give it 5 more stars for all the releasiness and the children. And just feeling like good old SVU again. So I give this 10 out of 5 stars.
It's a good one. It's trying.
One of my favorites of the season.
Yeah, it fits up with a couple other ones. I think.
Legit,
Really
just for
good. This
Kelly.
one's pretty good.
It's one of my favorites just because of Kelly. All right, I think that's it.
I gotta edit this so we can watch it. We gonna put this up like right after I'm finished.
Stop recording it for a second.
I don't know if there's a pause recording. Hold on. You I don't know if there's a it's not a pause, it's just a stop recording. So can we finish and then I will stop recording? Or do you need to?
No, like legit, stop it. I have a reason. Promise.
Okay, hold on.
Hello, we're back.
We're back. So we're gonna talk about organized crime.
Yeah.
This one, hold on. I don't have the notes up. Whoops. Should have been more prepared.
Called
Red coat. Red coat. It was
and
something,
literally
right?
in more ways than one.
Yes. This might have been the most boring. It was pretty boring here. This season wise, this one was
right to the point, ma'am.
We're gonna get straight to the point here. This one pretty boring. It was pretty boring, okay? But we're gonna go through it.
Yeah, we definitely had better. I mean, I'm not gonna call it boring because
it's not the worst, but it could have been
not the worst, but it comes pretty close. It wasn't the best one this season. It was good, but it's just like
it had potential and then didn't deliver.
It was like it's basically was like plot setting, like setting up.
Yeah, it was the filler episode for this week. Really, is what it was. But like, it was kind of boring.
All right,
but anyway, we gotta go through it. So at the beginning, there's a flashback of last week.
Yeah, they're literally giving us stuff to catch up if you missed it. And then they show that literally everybody at the compound at the farm is literally getting ready for like war. Quite legit. Like it's war now. They want this over with. So Angus and Elliot are going to meet with Redcoat.
Yeah, his name is Emery, but they don't know his name yet.
Yeah, so they go to meet him. They meet him, and they literally have to get patted down before they enter this guy's plane.
It's serious.
Elliot, for whatever freaking reason, has to make a joke about it, and I'm like, can you just shut up?
Yeah, it was real.
We don't need you making comments about every little.
I forgot what it was. It was something about being. I was like, bro, you gotta.
It was literally the guy.
Stop deflecting this awkward moment with humor.
The guy was patting him down near his parts, and basically was like, "Easy, man," or like, "Easy, watch it, champ." And I'm like, really? There's no fucking point. You need to say that.
No,
Men. then why?
Especially that one. Basically that one in
Yes,
particular. But,
especially that man. Why? Anyway,
yeah.
it's fine. They're let on the plane, and then we meet
They-
Red Coat.
Red
who
coat.
quite literally is wearing a
Has
red coat.
He wears a red suit on, like for real. So
Red
good,
suit.
good costume design.
Yeah, literally, it's more the way the name fits more ways than one. One, he's wearing a red suit. Two, he's from
England, so he is
England.
the red coat. Which,
Legit.
And
he three, Angus is like, oh yeah, I'm done. And the guy's like, no, you're not. You're gonna do one more job for me. So, the literally enemy traders type thing, all wrapped into one. And, Angus has mentioned he has connections back to the revolution. So we got the Patriots, and then we got Emery's side being the Redcoats.
Yeah, so, creative. Creative.
By the way.
Creative.
Yeah, so they go through their thing, and basically he's like, you do this one last job for me, and then you can be done.
Which, that's not probably going to happen because
we are like that. Then we go back to the bureau, and it's literally like silence again, and everybody's kind of just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then I forget her name. Shaw?
Yes, it's also Shaw.
Comes out and like starts talking to people, and like Jet flinches a little. I'm like, the little things that Ainsley does that's like kind of goes towards like people's headcanons of Jet being neurodivergent somehow. Like the little flinches she gets when she's lost in thought, and then somebody tries to get her attention, and she's like snapping back to reality. And the little flinches are like showing it's startling her, like just the little things that they do. And then the little octopus is still on her desk.
Yes,
the one that's been there since season 2. That
we love to see.
Ainsley and Sam said that it was a gift, like behind the scenes, that it was a gift from Malachi. She still has the freaking octopus.
Yeah, it's friends.
They'll say it's a gift from him. So I don't know. Hope somewhere.
Take it what you take that as what you will.
But we're gonna take it as that. And she literally looks up at Shaw and she's like, "How's Sarge?" Because Bella's not in this episode.
No, which is really big. That's why this one loses some stars because there was no Bell.
No Bell. No Bell equals less stars.
Ooh.
So
it really was. I was like this episode. For real. I was like,
but the reason she's not there is because she has to do IAB, and the IAB is now investigating what happened to Bashir.
Yeah.
And she has to, give her point of view because he was part of her unit at the time when it was happening, and now she has to talk about it, and woo.
Yeah.
And then we finally get, they all don't really, at the first they didn't really like this woman because her and Ayana were like frenemies from the academy. But, after this happened with Sam and she knew him first, Reyes looked right at her and was like, "How are you, Captain?" Trying to check on her because nobody has asked how she has been since this happened yet. And as if it wasn't already sad enough, she goes and says, "I've never lost anyone in the line of duty."
Yeah, and you're like, ugh.
So Sam's the first. Great. Meanwhile, Ayana has lost 3 people now. If any, actually, 4. If anyone wants to count. Gina, when she was undercover. Morales, when he himself.
Oh yeah, you forgot about that. The first half of the show seemed a little blurred.
Yeah, Whelan last season, and now Sam. So, I don't know. Give them all a freaking break.
Literally, nothing good has gone well for any.
Yeah. And then again, making comments about Jet's multiple outfits. Jet's wearing jeans, and I like that. They looked good on her.
I don't know what you meant by this next part. But,
I think there's a scene where they were. Oh, I think it was a scene they were trying to communicate on the farm, the base compound.
Yeah.
There's like Elliot and Trisha, and she like talking to something. And I'm like, is this a phone?
It must be the phone, because they bring up the phone later. They talk about the phone later in the episodes. I think it's the phone.
Because it looked.
It's probably the phone.
It was like tall. It was junky. It was weird.
They talk about the phone later, so it could have been the phone. Who knows?
And
but
then we get a scene where we see Randall. Which I didn't know he was supposed to be in this episode, so cool.
I forgot.
Randall, and he's at this like small, like kind of quaint, cute bar, and he's having a drink.
Yeah.
By himself. Somebody at this man some company.
Exactly. Besides everyone, everything seems to go tragically wrong for Randall at the moment. But
and somebody walks up to him, and it's Joe Jr. And Randall's like, "Oh my God, where the hell have you been?"
Exactly. They ain't heard from him in a hot minute because he just left.
And Joe Jr. is pretty much like, Joe Jr. is pretty much like, "Stop looking for me. You're gonna get yourself hurt. Leave me alone."
You know. Basically, the conversation.
Literally, you're gonna get yourself hurt. And Randall's like, "What do you mean? We can help you. Like, I don't know, go tell your brother who happens to be a freaking detective.
He can help you here,
He can actually help
talk
you
about this. We can talk about your substance abuse. We get you some help for that. It's a lot of compiling issues,
And Joe is like, "You always treat me like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm an idiot. Stop. I know what I'm doing this time, and I'm telling you all to stay away."
I know. We're like, "No, you don't, bro. No, you don't." As a viewer, you're like, "No, you don't." But
and
okay.
Randall's like trying to give him like a conversation about like stuff and that he learned like as a kid, and Randall and then Joe Jr.'s like, "No, don't. You were never around. Don't act like you were." And you see Randall's face turn because
he's right.
The reason that that Randall left home is because the dad was abusive.
Yes.
The problem is he left, but all of his siblings were still there.
Yeah, and that's why they feel like he got abandoned.
But they were still there. And I'm glad this is the one instance where I am glad they brought Michael back, because I don't know, the one episode we had in SV wasn't enough for us to see his acting skills, and this scene was very good.
It was really good. This scene's very good.
And then he goes to he's basically like at the end, like, "Stay out of this. I know what I'm doing. Do not get involved."
So
he goes to leave, and he turns back around and he slides the signed baseball down the
across the table,
the bar top, and he's like, "I bought it back."
Exactly. We're like, "What do you mean you bought it back?" But I guess we're not. We know.
Because we know that a few episodes ago he took it so he could go.
He took it by illicit substances.
But he bought it back, so it shows that he does still care about his family in one way or another. Yeah. So the next scene is the next morning, and Randall's had a good time, I guess. Yes, he did, because he's drinking juice out of the jug.
He just takes the juice out. He's laying on the couch, face down. Hold on, that was 4 times.
Face down.
He's laying on the couch. He's face down on the couch drinking, and then his phone starts. He gets up. Does the phone ring first? I can't remember. But I think he does this all at the same time. The phone rings, and it's Eli, and he's like, "Have you heard from Dad? I haven't heard from Dad in a long time. That's somebody really need to tell him." And Randall's like, "God knows
that Elliot's undercover," and he's like, "I can't tell kid." So it's pretty much
Randall,
like, your dad's busy with work, but I'll tell him when I see him.
Yeah, because Randall, he gets up and drinks the juice out the fridge. He takes the juice, the jug of orange juice, and turns around. We're like, "Bro."
tell him I want to talk to him as soon as I can. Eli's really excited about something.
Whatever it is. They didn't even tell the viewer, as a viewer, you don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. What did you put?
I said, I think he might be talking about you and his girlfriend may or may not have him a child.
Shut
And the reason
up.
why,
Can you imagine?
it wouldn't be weird for them because Elliot and Kathy had their first child at like 17. So
Yes. But do we
young,
really need a repeat of that?
I don't know, but it could happen. It would make sense in their family that it would happen.
Yeah,
Because
true.
he's
But
excited. Either he
at least we know one of
well,
them has a better. At least we know one of them has a better head on their shoulders.
yeah, and like because they get into a fight, and like, we know the family gets into a fight by the last episode. So obviously, whatever drama unfolds, it wasn't something that everyone liked.
Oh
And
yeah,
if it was a
legit.
proposal, I feel like
I
everyone
know
would be
they're
okay if
thinking
it was a proposal.
somebody decided that okay, last time wasn't enough, so they're having another family
Dinner
dinner,
table fight again.
and they're
Fight
all
again.
probably
That's
again
just
because
for
apparently
week after
this
that
family can have one
finale week as the fight, dinner table fight again.
conventional dinner. But yes,
Yes, we don't really know what he has to say, but he's excited to tell his dad, and we don't
and
get to
we
know
go
until maybe we'll find
to
out.
back to the bureau, and they're discussing like something. I think they're talking about like weapons or whatever.
Mhm.
And then Jet, once again, with the name, the way she names things, she's like, "These are what I like to call and killers."
Mhm.
I mean, she's not wrong. They legit kill men, but
Yeah.
I forget exactly what she was talking about. And she's wearing this like black flower lace, all looking good in the black. Blue. And
Mhm.
they're watching the cameras of the compound that they have installed. They're
Mhm.
watching them on their screen, and all of a sudden, they all start going out one by one.
Mhm.
And Jet just looks at it and she's like, "Whoa." Which, I mean, yeah, it's shocking, but also, why are you just saying that and standing there?
What are they gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do? Like,
Do
where's the
something.
Joe? What are we gonna do? It was kind of this is also why the episode gets knocked a little bit about like
That
they
legit
didn't
Jet.
really use Jet to her full potential in this moment.
Exactly. I'm like, why? What? Why are you just having her stand there? That's not what you free. That's not her job.
Exactly. That was
And
annoying.
so
That's
yeah,
what I was
so
saying.
they see that, and Vargas is there, and he sees it, and he starts trying to fix the cameras, and he does it really fast. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Well," makes a joke. He's like, "Bogey must have a rolling jammer, whatever the hell that means."
Yeah, typically you would, I for some reason know about tech, but signal
I
jammers
only know a
are like
bogey golf.
it
I don't know
blocks
anything
the.
else.
You can use a signal jammer so a GPS can't track your location.
Eh, look at you,
So
genius.
so the car is no longer the GPS for the car isn't like so they can't the car. I guess how it works is since the cars have GPSs obviously, which you can track. So whenever that car is moving past those cameras, whoever else is on the other end is activating them. So therefore, that signal is jammed, so they can't see what the other people see. So someone else must also be on this network who is able to jam the signal.
Karen is a genius, everybody.
I know a lot of weird things about tech. I like a lot
Well,
of video games. I like to watch video games for
that
fun.
was
That's how I know
actually
stuff.
good to know because that actually had to do with the episode. Um, yeah, so they get the cameras back up just as the car is coming back with Elliot and Angus, and
Mm,
they sent a rep. One of Emery sent one of his representatives, Dahlia, back.
mm,
Apparently, they don't. She doesn't get along well with Trisha,
mm,
and then he starts talking. Um, Angus says something to the mom, which
mm.
shocked me for a second because this entire time I thought the mom was his wife.
I did also think that too. So, but
I
then I
thought it
realized
was his
everyone was calling
wife.
him Mama
It's
instead.
actually his mom.
Because everyone was calling her Mama, and it was like,
So I thought, he was the dad and she was the mom. I don't know.
no, apparently not.
No, legit, she is the mom of everybody, and Angus is her kid. What?
The one who genetically related. Everyone else, she's just in charge of.
Who said this? So is Stable.
I forgot.
Oh my god, we skipped ahead. We went way too ahead. Anyway, there was another close-up at which we left. And I was wrong.
He was saying a thing about, like, he said something strange. I think they heard something Elliot was saying, and then, I think they were overhearing the conversation about there being a snitch, and then something like that. It might have been something like that. I can't remember now.
That was Stabler, but
anyway, don't worry. I don't know.
Now I got confused. The first time we saw the airport and the plane was when Julian was getting on it himself. This right now, this is when Angus and Elliot go to visit. And basically the honey farm went to high security. Yes, Redcoat is in red at least. And he's talking to Angus and he looks at Elliot and he's like, "What's your name?" And Elliot's like, "Hank." Which I don't freaking know how he comes up with these names, but I don't know.
Like, what's your name?
Hank is
he says Hank is very healthy
name. Not Henry. That's too British.
And I was like, that's kind of funny.
God.
We gotta have some more conversation. He's like killing the cop.
They have more conversation. He's like, "Oh, it's not, it's what, you're not doing like bad things." And then Elliot goes like killing a cop. Under his breath a little, but Emery's like, "What?" And
but we find out he is in charge of you. We find out Redcoat
we find
is
out
in charge of this.
Already assumed he's in charge of all the drugs.
Yep.
Sorry, illicit substances.
He's the top dog of
yes.
Yes.
This is when we get the patting down scene that Elliot made that comment about that literally was not necessary. You don't literally, the guy's just doing his job. You don't have to say watch it, child. Like, I'm sorry. No. And I'm going to bet that line was ad-libbed. I bet it was.
It was a very weird one just to be like,
That's just me. I'm just thinking it was ad-libbed. Anyway, so they're on the thing, and Angus has this giant bag of money.
He's like, "Here's the money.
Here you go." And Julian's like, "Nah, I don't want the money." He's like, Angus is like, "Look, things changed. I changed. I don't want to do this anymore." Exactly. And that's when Emily's like, "Okay, one last shipment, then you're done."
Of course, this probably isn't true. But of course it's not going to be this easy.
No. And then he gives before they leave,
he has a file of stuff. And he's like, "You got a mole amongst your people."
Informants of the FBI, and if they're like, "By the way, you want to look at this? My people say you have a mole." And then you see Elliot standing there like, "Well, shit." Then they're back at the bureau. The signal gets jammed again. Vargas immediately gets to it and says, "You want to dance? Let's dance." Here's where I'm annoyed. Literally, they show Jet watching him, standing up, watching him. Why is she not doing anything? She was there.
She would know what to do.
It was their job. This is her job. She would know what to do. She's the reason why any of them know who the hell this guy is.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I like just standing there and looking at her, that's not what she's there for. She's not just there to stand there and look pretty. She's there to do badass shit.
That's why we were kind of looking. That's why this episode isn't good. It was just kind of, it wasn't giving. It wasn't.
They are back at the They show everybody going back to the farm, and that's when Dahlia is there. And they're all talking about like what they should do, because now they're finding out there's a mole. And Angus says, "I'm not going to bury another Marine without proof." Good. Okay, you at least have some conscience about what happened to Sam.
And that sounds Elliot. I forgot to put his name again.
Elliot's like, "Look, Oh, and then, they're doing things. Oh, because they're discussing it, and they think
Trying to
it's
figure out who it is.
who's the mole. And the mom immediately is like, okay, go take care of it. Like, why can't we just, put her in a hole already? Let's go do this.
And they were ready to, be done.
And Angus is like, no. So Elliot has to go talk to Trisha, and they're like, yeah, you were found out. But look, there's not a problem. Trisha's like, I'm fine. And Elliot's like, no, I'm not going to wait around to find out, and neither are you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically, look, we're fine. Unless they find my phone. She had like a hidden phone she used to do.
She had hidden it out in the woods by this
And it's
fence, by
literally
this
out
tree.
in
She
the
just
woods
know where it
in the
was.
tree. And everything's fine. Everything's fine. And then the door opens, and one of the guys is standing there with the phone.
And you're like, ugh.
Oh shit. So yep, it's legit case. They have pictures of Trisha talking to FBI people.
They have
The
everything.
FBI
It's
agent
like,
knows it. She's basically found out it's done. And Ellie is pretty much like,
how do you believe these sources? Like, why do you think he's on our side?
yeah,
He's
why are
trying
you
to get
believing
them
me?
to
Like,
not.
how do you think you actually know there's a phone?
Like, how do you know? He's like, and they're
And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting this mixed up. It's been a while. So, they're like, fine. We'll look in the morning. If we find anything, if we don't find anything, fine.
I'll let
Send
her go. But if
everything
we
out.
do,
Where's your
okay, it's another joke Elliot makes about because he's like everyone because the guy Angus says like if you're gonna go outside, everyone has to have an accountability partner. So
yeah.
Elliot goes to check on Trisha, and the guy is like, "Where's your buddy?" And he says, "In my pants." And like,
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Why? Why
and
do
like, why?
why
This is
do
like a dumb.
why
Why?
do men
Just,
think that's funny? It's not.
I don't know.
It's
It's really
really
not.
not. It's not tasteful or funny in the slightest. And she's literally in a cage.
Yeah.
Locked in a cage. Kind of beat up. Um, this is what they've done to her. And Elliot's like, look, none of this, no case is worth your life. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm kind of screwed. I have a phone by the tree. I gotta hope and pray they don't find it.
Yeah, because they were looking.
And she's like, you know what? Elliot's like, fine. Here's what I'm gonna do. And he starts flicking lights.
Mm-hmm. These are some Morse code and lights
in the room, and hoping somebody back at the bureau is going to understand this. And then they'd go back to the bureau, and Burgess has late night duty watching the cameras, and he's eating a cup of ramen watching the cameras, and he sees the lights flickering, and at first he's like, what the heck is going on? He thinks something wrong with the cameras again, so he ignores it. But he's making a vlog of everything that's happening. Well, the next morning, they find the phone.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, well, you got your proof. Who's digging the hole?
We gotta stop digging holes. We're digging holes.
What is it with this woman wanting to dig holes and put
She's
everybody in holes?
today. We're like, whoa.
And Elliot's like, no, she's one of us. She's loyal. And Angus is like, no, she's a traitor. She dies a traitor's death. And it's like, okay, sir. Damn.
And we're like, whoa.
And then we go back, and there's silence in the bureau, and they're all kind of just, what do we do? And Shaw walks in and is like, this FBI agent said he missed a call with his informant last night. Vargas, what did you see on the cameras? And he's like, nothing. And he pulls up the stuff from last night. And then Jet's watching. And then she's like, sees the lights. And then she's like, what is that? And then my mom makes a really good point. She's watching Jet watch it, and she's like, "Yep, Jet will see what's going on. Jet will see why the lights are flickering," which she did. Finally, she does something, and of course, she's the only one who notices it.
Because Vargas kind of like looks, and then he like goes over to the whiteboard, and he like starts writing it down because it's letters. At
But
first,
Jet has to at first point out, hey, look closer at the lights. And then when he does, when she does point it out and Vargas looks again, then it hits him. He's like, I collect old radios. And he goes over to the whiteboard and he starts writing down these like numbers.
It's Morse code. At first it was, it's Morse code.
And
Dots
letters.
and dashes are Morse code.
And letters, turns it to letters.
And they're like, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Maybe literally I'll turn it into numbers. And he goes, 1, 0. And actually, first he reads out the numbers. He looks at them and he's like, anything? And they all just stare at him like, what are you talking about? Then he's like, okay. Turns it into numbers. 1, 0, 1, 3.
Anything.
13. And then it takes a minute and Jet's like, oh my god, 1013. Which is
Officer for need of assistance.
So they all freaking rush out of there to go help Trisha and Elliot, and basically they're calling all the feds. It's time to ambush the place.
Yeah,
and Vargas is just left there again.
Yeah.
They don't bring him; he just stays there.
He doesn't get to leave the field.
And then they got Reyes and the captain are there, and Jet's driving. So cool.
They're on their way on.
Jet gets to drive. Apparently, sweet.
We've done a lot of Jet driving this season.
Yes, we love that. Yay. I also, but I'm like curious of why they like choose her. Is she focused? Is she a good driver? Is she fast, so they want her to get them there on time? We don't know.
Everything. Maybe everything.
Either way, she has driven a lot, and it's cool. Then we get like everybody in the room with Trisha. She's like legit tied to a chair, and they're like trying to tell her her name, like they even know her full name at this point. And Elliot's there, and he's like trying to stop this, but like he can't.
They're about to kill her. They're about to kill her.
Angus says that it's time they're going to execute the traitor, and they're literally about to cover her head with a bag.
Because they're gonna shoot her. They're about to shoot her point blank, but
he starts to get the gun. That is not what I thought.
They were going to do. Yeah, a second later, they have you can see Angus going to get a gun case, and you take.
I thought they were going to waterboard her, but that makes more sense.
This was a.
Yeah, that makes more sense. And she goes, "No, I want to look you in the eyes."
You go,
man. And they at least have the decency and respect to fold her flag.
Yeah.
Like you would in a military funeral.
Yep. They were about to execute the traitor for real. It was getting wild.
And as they turn around, the Angus turns around to get his gun. Elliot literally like looks at Trisha and is pretty much like, it's now or never. So they grab the two guns that they're gonna use for the thing, and they point at them. Like two little pistols, and you grab them and point them at them, and they're like, okay, put them down, and basically,
yeah. They
basically, go into cop mode, and it's like, yeah, we're taking you down. And then Trisha takes, as Elliot's leading Angus out of the room, Trisha takes a moment to beat Tyler up because Tyler beat her up. So and I. But I couldn't stand the guy, so it's fine. But I was like a little worried she was gonna go too overboard.
You're like, oh no, we can't be getting
This is when my dad started calling these guys Trump supporters because they're all standing outside the place with guns, and I was like,
Yeah, it's like I had to explain to my aunt that they weren't January 6th rioters. I was like, that's
"Yeah, they're
not what
not
happened in this
January 6th
situation.
people. They're trying to
No.
they're literally doing what veterans do, defending
Yeah, they
their
weren't
home.
bad people. Yeah,
They're
they
not.
weren't bad.
They're not the bad
They weren't
people.
political.
None
They
of
weren't
these comments
political
are
in any
bad.
sense.
None of this has to do with politics. They are veterans defending their home. This honey farm has become their safe haven, their home.
Yeah,
It's
particularly
being
because
threatened. They are saving it.
particularly because like there's such a high homeless population among veterans because they come home and they don't have nowhere to live.
And
So that these
basically,
groups,
all the cops start showing up. And
mhm,
Elliot is like, tell them to stand down.
yeah, because there's a lot of guns and not that many
Please.
cops.
Tell them to stand down before anybody else gets hurt. And Angus gives the order for them to stand down. And then everybody going around, everybody there is getting arrested. Ray is arrest Stabler, which is fun.
Because
Because he's undercover still. But come on, you can't tell me that doesn't give any of them like,
a
a little
little
bit
bit
of
of a
joking serotonin and be like, I got to put you in handcuffs. Especially if you're the one who gets to put Stabler in handcuffs. And then, their mom, and she's like, yeah, well, she's never been partial to, actually, hold on. And then they're like, Jet,
her
I don't know,
too, yeah.
randomly walks up to a person who's literally standing in the top of the car with a weapon and points her weapon at them and is like, hands down, hands on your head, get down. I'm like, okay, you go, take charge. Finally doing something.
Yeah, those episodes. That's why this episode just wasn't it.
Yeah, like Jet usually does more than this. I want more of our girl. Come on. Okay, so everybody gets arrested. And then, they have Angus in the interrogation room, and then Elliot goes to talk to him. And he makes the comment about the mom, and he's like, does she want to talk to me? He's like, no. She never been partial to trainers.
And go, well.
And he's like, well, I don't consider myself a trainer. And he said, well, you are one. And then Elliot goes on to say, I never buried a Marine until you told me to dig a hole. Like, well, shit.
Yeah.
And then we actually get a moment of solace, and Angus kind of takes it all in. And he's like, what is your actual name? Elliot. And he starts addressing him as Elliot. And Elliot goes on to tell him about Sam and the fact that he left a 6-year-old daughter and a wife who was about to have a baby.
Still really sad.
Still sad. And this is when we get a genuine apology. And Angus says, I'm sorry for your loss. And Elliot says, so am I. Here's the thing. It's not them that did it. We still don't know who.
It kind of seems to be the people who are more involved on Redcoat's end seem to be involved
probably
in that.
one of them.
This is why the arc isn't over. When there's 2 episodes left, of course, the arc is ending. But like, they kind of closed the farm end of it to pick up more of the Redcoat end with those last 2 episodes. So we'll see what happens. But we aren't catching the episode yet.
Yeah, and then Angus goes into like how this all started. Of how like after he was in the military and they started the honey farm, more and more people kept, after they did their services.
They didn't really live or stay.
And then basically we're done and the country didn't need them anymore. They're like, what do we do? And Angus is like, well, basically when they didn't need us anymore, you know what I saw? A bunch of broken people. The military basically took them and ripped them apart because it is a very, very difficult thing. You do not come back the same person.
No. As the daughter of a veteran, you really don't. People definitely don't come back the same.
And that's why it was so important for Angus to create this place. He created the honey farm as a safe haven for these people. And as a way for them to get jobs and be able to make a living and try to get back to living their lives.
Yeah.
And he says that it didn't always start out as
the illicit
substances work. It originally started out as them working for security and doing security for Emery and his groups and his group.
Yeah.
And then Emery started, changing it to you're gonna do this for me now. And the reason they did it was more money equals more support for my brother. And Angus did it for more money to support the people that were living on the farm, on the compound.
He didn't have bad intentions. He had good intentions. It just didn't go.
He had good intentions, but as he says, I'm afraid I'm just a stupid old man who lost his way. Because unfortunately, it started to become more about the
substance than it
substances
was
and the original, actually good
and the
goal.
money. Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, but for me to lose one of my own to the illicit substance, I might as well have shot him myself. It's like, damn. Like, this got so bad it took one of his own, and it's like, basically, because I did this, I might as well have just myself. Him, myself, and it's like, damn. And then Ellie goes on and says, we have a common enemy and a common cause. And Angus is pretty much like, you're right. And he's gonna tell him everything.
He's gonna tell everything. This probably won't go too well, but we'll find out tomorrow.
So we have they're working together. Cool. Elliot goes home. Finally, he's home. He's back. Randall's there. He's like, "Oh, I gotta give you some updates."
He brought some pizza and everything. Randall came back with pizza.
Updates. He's literally giving him updates. First off, our brother's back. But also, your Sarge called me in to your bureau, and they found blood at our brother's warehouse. And then Elliot's like, what? And Randall literally continues. And the way he says this is so nonchalantly. It's like, there's blood in the warehouse, and it was your detectives. And then Elliot's like, what? And you can see he's getting angry because now he knows somehow his younger brother is connected to the murder.
Connected to this.
Sam.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Well, they finally put the promo pictures out, but we'll look at those after. So.
Oh, they did. Cool. Okay, and then we'll
look at them.
We transition to the last scene, and it's back on the plane. And Emery has like a cigar, and he's leaning forward, and somebody lights it. And then the camera turns, and we see that Joe Jr. is the one who lit the cigar. Meaning, put the pieces together, y'all. Joe Jr.'s little wine company is actually working for Redcoat.
Yeah.
Dun dun.
Yeah, it's you. Oh shit, and that happens to you.
And then next, so we give this episode. What do we give this? I give it 3 stars. Not good, not bad. Does not get any more.
I was gonna say like 2.5.
Yeah.
We've seen such good content this season that this one was just kind of.
This one was just yeah.
It was kind of like.
It was setting up for next week when he basically.
Tomorrow. Really, the next week is really tomorrow. By the way.
Yeah, I say that. Joe Jr. is basically starting to realize
it's called.
This is not going so well.
Gotta give it a proper. So tomorrow's episode is called Good Night. It's literally called Good Night.
You're not kidding. Oh, fun.
It literally is called Good Night. It says Stabler and Randall give Joe Jr. the choice to get clean or go to prison. Vargas and Jet's plans to cut off Emery's smuggling route leads to a dangerous rescue attempt.
Well, shit. I think that's the scene where we see Joe Jr. like tied up and hit somewhere.
Hold on.
I'm hoping.
And they're Elliot's screaming at him, and they're sitting around and they're talking. He's like, "I'm the guy on the inside," and Elliot's like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, somebody has snatched up Joe Jr.
So I'm hoping that's the rescue mission they're actually talking about, because I don't need anything else happening to anybody.
It probably is Joe Jr. You know, they don't like a snitch. You know, he's probably gonna got some problems.
No more shit. Nothing. No more.
Let's see. Let me find out the things. I don't
Okay. Oh, we gotta talk about how the OC cast had a rap party a few
Oh, they
days
did
ago.
have the rap party. Like, yeah,
Holy
man, it was
crap,
so
these
funny.
people know how to party.
They know how to party. Wow.
They know how to party hard.
It's just really funny. I'm gonna go watch the videos. It's so funny.
Rick was DJing.
Yeah.
Danielle was rapping. And Ainsley was dancing to ABBA. And singing
They were
along.
partying hard at that party.
And
like,
legit looked like a fucking pop princess.
It was so funny. There's so many funny videos.
They had like this black coat on. The same top they wore, I think, when I met them. This black skirt and these long black boots, and she has like a sparkly like headband thing on, and it's like, ooh. And they all have this cute little boo. I said boo because Sharon just told me there's no pictures of Jet in the promo pictures.
No.
You put her in the summary, but you don't have any pictures of her.
We do have Ayana in a picture, so that makes sense.
Okay, good.
That's the only one. That's the only one. I'll send you.
And then, so they got Amy dancing, Danielle is rapping, Rick is DJing, and then they literally put out a video of Rick and Chris dancing, and I tell you, it's the most dad shit ever. It's the most dad shit ever.
Like,
I keep forgetting. We know Chris is a dad. I keep forgetting Rick is old enough to be a dad. It doesn't I mean, yeah, I know he's a dad on the show, but some reason that doesn't connect to me in real life. I keep forgetting that he's actually dad in real life too. So they're both dancing like dads, and I'm pretty sure everybody got a little
regular party, real
partying because they all have like wine glasses in their hands and they're dancing, and I'm like, okay, they get to have fun. Ooh, right, it's with the camera. Interesting.
There's some of I don't think this is I'm kind of confused if these are flashbacks or not, because there's some of Joe Jr. without facial hair, so I think those might be part of a flashback, and it looks real weird. One of those people who need their facial hair, they look weird. It's throwing me off real bad.
The only person that doesn't look bad with facial hair is with or without facial hair is Rule, but
yeah.
And then they recently put out a little picture of the cast, literally after they're filming their last scene.
Yeah.
And they did a little video. Danielle put out a little video of everybody going, the crew being like, and that's a wrap on Danielle, and it's a wrap on Ainsley, and everybody clapping and applauding. And we got everybody little cast up front. So we got I think his name is Tate, Rick, Danielle, and then Ainsley over there claiming the table, literally feet on the table, like you go, Wayne. And then they're amazing, literally. Did not know how many freaking people were in their cast. I mean, their crew in the back.
I mean, show's gotta have a lot of crew because you know how many camera angles shows have.
Yes. So
just camera look on.
The show is made up of the 5 people. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 people in front, but it would not be anything without all the other people in the back.
Lots of the people.
Thank you all for Organized Crime Season 4. And please, for the love of God, I need another one.
Yeah, it's still out there yet. It's not confirmed yet. Still.
Yes.
As of today, it's still not confirmed.
We have no idea, and there's 2 episodes left.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Let's see. Do we have anything else to say about organized crime while we're here? I guess I could show the pictures from the party. I saved a bunch of them.
I don't know. I can't play the music though, so if there's music in the back, can't
I won't
play
put
it out
the
loud.
music on. I'm just gonna show the pictures.
Because YouTube will claim you if you don't have permission to use it.
So they got like cast and crew and friends. Like here's one. Like, because there's a bunch of people here. We like legit. We do not know who they are.
No, but they work for the show and they're having a good time.
Yep. And then there's Danielle rapping. Well, Rick is DJing. And then Chris and
they were really hitting the old man dance real hard.
Old man dance. It's kind of funny though, because they're kind of dressed the same too, which is kind of hilarious. And then we got this crew member. I think he does their makeup or hair.
Really.
He's dancing. Oh yeah. And then there's Ainsley dancing to Dancing Queen from ABBA. I can't put the music, but there's a clip. Like, they're all having the best fucking time.
They really were.
And they deserve it, but it's like so, I don't know. Oh, and then there's Danielle and the woman who plays Shaw. Like, it's great.
They don't have any. There's only one picture from the SVU party. Apparently, they were keeping that a secret.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me sometimes. Like, I know these people. Like, these people are like real people, but like, it's always crazy to me when like I see them having like a party, and it's like, oh yeah, they dance and drink and have fun just like the rest of us. And oh my god, they partied fucking hard. And rightfully so. Oh, also, you sent me a clip, and I literally do not freaking remember where it's from, but it was showed picture of Chris, or it was a video of Chris playing a guitar.
I don't know where they came from. Probably sometime in the past year or two.
Let's see. Danielle sings, Ainsley sings, Rick raps, Chris plays guitar. Gee, I don't know. That's all 4 of them. Can I fucking have my musical episode now? Peacock, if you're listening and you take OC, give it to me. You can actually do that. Come on.
We'll see. We don't know.
I keep getting more proof and more reasons why I should have it. So yeah, we got another episode tomorrow, and then
you can see the finale there next week.
Yeah. It's almost over, guys.
For this season.
It's crazy because it seems like it hasn't. It seems like
it started in January.
Yeah, we knew organized crime was starting in January. We knew that was happening, but it seems like it. Yeah, it seems weird. It feels like it's been going on forever, but that also it hasn't.
There's so many gaps. There were so many like skip weeks. It was just like.
I was gonna say something else.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Oh, shameless self-plug. The NBA playoffs are currently on, and if my team continues, I want them. I was like telling my dad the other day, I want them to play the Knicks. He's like, no, we don't want to. They're good. I'm like, I know. I want to play them for a completely different reason. He's like, why? I'm like, because they have Danielle sing the national anthem at their games, so I want her to sing the national anthem in a Celtics game. And he's like, oh. So once again, everything correlates back to these shows for me. And I have basically nothing else on the brain. Also, the fact that the thing is called Goodnight slightly concerns me.
It's a little dark. The next one is Stabler's Limit.
That concerns me even more.
But finale.
Like
whatever
the last 2 episode titles being kind of dark and eerie makes me nervous. don't have much hope after what has already happened this season and what happened last finale. So
Yeah, they really did just.
I literally freaking did that out of nowhere.
It took us so long to record that episode last season because we never could never finish it.
We still don't talk about it. Hell, we still
No.
write him because we refuse to accept it.
Yeah.
And I still am holding on to the hope that maybe they put him in witness protection for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But if they don't, I sure hope Brent is happy wherever he is.
Yeah, he's been online like since then, so.
Yeah, legit. He hasn't been online in a while, so we don't know. But I hope he's happy wherever he is. I hope Molly and Jasmine are as well. Basically, anybody who has gotten their shitty exits, I hope they're all doing well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can't be that bad because considering, they wrote off Jamie horribly and they keep bringing her husband back, so.
Yeah. Yeah, they really. It's really funny. Like it is. That was one of the funniest like casting choices they made in a long time because like it didn't even stick much. I think it was maybe that was
Literally, they wasn't even
closer to
it
the
wasn't even
end
a
of
season gap to do it. It was
no,
like last
because it was
season.
close. That one was closer to the end of season 24. It was maybe between the last like it might have been like
But also,
closer
if
to
you
the end.
keep
It wasn't the
bringing
last two,
Michael
but
back, does that means you can bring Jamie back too? Just saying.
yeah. I guess most people on have indeed moved on to other things
Yeah.
and are happy doing whatever they were doing.
I mean, we keep getting Kelly, but we'll
We'll
talk
talk.
about
Yeah,
that later. Cause
we'll talk about it when we get to that.
we have so much stuff to say
That
about it.
episode's gonna take us a long time.
So much.
It was a really
We got so
phenomenal
much,
episode.
people. We got so much.
It's such a good episode. That's why
I'm gonna get myself emotional over it again because it's that good.
yeah, but we'll get back to it.
Yes. Okay, so that's it for now.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Bye for now.
Okay.
When we come back, it's SVU time.
Mm-hmm. Because I gotta edit and hopefully get this up before. I should get it up before the morning, but I get to
Okay.
edit.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
All right. I think that's all. So,
Mm-hmm.
again, thanks for listening. We got 2 more times we're going to do this. And then
Yeah,
we'll figure
then we'll
out
come up with
content
some
for the
summer
summer.
content. Because we have a YouTube channel. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check
Karen
that out.
is
There's one
officially
video.
on summer break. I have 25 more days.
There is a YouTube video on our channel where we reviewed product reviews. So go watch it.
Including the mugs.
Mm-hmm. Go check out the product review video.
Yes. Yes. Karen is done. Karen is college graduate. I am waiting 25 more days.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will have summer content for you all.
I don't know what's gonna be it.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen. So once again, thanks for listening. We really appreciate your support. Like, subscribe, comment, give us money.
You all the same. You can. You can donate.
I mean, it would be really appreciated. You don't have to, but it would be appreciated. So this could be our full-time gigs.
Literally.
Yes.
You know, we're not monetized. So I mean you gotta
now, subscribe, comment. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll read your comments. We'll respond to your comments.
Yes, please. We would love to respond to comments. I would love to do an episode where we just respond to comments. I would have so much fun doing that. Please. Yeah, we want to know what you think. Like, do you have the same ships as us? Do you have the same inputs? Who's your favorite character?
Right there. Now we have Google. Now that I do this on a change to a Google Meet instead of Zoom. We can live stream.
Oh.
So
down in the comments if you want to live stream.
So we could live stream on YouTube now. So
yeah. All right. I think that's it. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. We're gonna go edit.